Hey guys, hope up here. Gonna be doing a reaction to Zoro versus Erza, One Piece versus Fairy Tail, Death Battle. I've actually seen One Piece and Fairy Tail, not all the way, just most of the episodes. This is from ScrewAttack, obviously. I wonder if they've ever made video games of those two. But knowing Japan, since they made this stuff, obviously they have. They make all the cool stuff. We Americans try, but unless it's video games, yeah, our cartoons are kind of shit. Well, okay, I think some of them were good, like Rick and Morty, Simpsons, Family Guy, American Dad, South Park, stuff like that's pretty good. So, anyway, let's just get to the video.
Past, present, or future, one kind of fighter has stood the test of time. The swordsman.
And I like the swords.
Combatants are two of the most skilled warriors
cool.
to ever wield a blade.
There's a lot of fake blood.
Zoro, the feared swordsman of the Straw Hat Pirates.
And Erza Scarlet, the battle maid
of
the
the temper
Fairy Tail
chick.
Guild.
He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills. to
She's
find out
weird.
who
Her
will
ultimate
win
attack, she's
a
basically
death
almost
battle.
completely naked. It's like, what the hell?
As a child, Roronoa Zoro dreamed of becoming the greatest
Rora?
swordsman in the world.
But he didn't just enroll at a dojo. He showed up, challenged everyone, and then just sort of stuck around.
Zoro's dojo training sharpened his natural talent with a sword, but there was one person he could never quite manage to beat.
His sensei?
Sensei's daughter, Kuina.
Oh, his
They
daughter.
dueled a lot, and Kuina won every single matchup.
Ooh!
2001 of them.
Damn, you think you would have got at least one in?
Despite the constant defeat, Kuina and Zoro were very close friends. Together, they promised that someday one of them would become the world's best swordsman.
And then she fell down some stairs and died. Which just seems like an unacceptable way for a master swordsman.
That's a shitty way to go.
Does thin out the competition for world's best swordsman, though.
True. I mean, that's how I became the world's best shotgun woodcarver.
Bullshit.
After
Boomstick.
Kuina's death, Zoro inherited her sword and used it to hone his skills even further, eventually leaving the dojo in search of the current title holder of world's greatest swordsman, Dracule Mihawk.
Who?
But he immediately got himself
Like I said, I
lost.
never saw the
With
whole
nothing better
thing,
to
so I
do,
don't
he
remember
became
all of
a
it.
bounty hunter and wandered around the ocean until he ran into a weird, stretchy pirate kid.
You mean Monkey D. Luffy, who brought Zoro onto his crew of Straw Hat Pirates.
Actually worked out pretty well since Luffy was already looking to hire him anyway. Turns out Zoro has quite a reputation.
At this point, he was already a master swordsman, and after finding and training under Mihawk, his swordsmanship became legendary.
He created his own fighting style, Santoryu, also called three-sword style, because he uses three swords, one in each hand and one in his frickin' mouth.
That doesn't seem very safe.
Oh, shut up, Wiz.
Whoa.
Badasses don't care about safety.
Regardless, with the three-sword style, Zoro can perform several unique attacks, including the Onigiri, where he strikes with all three blades at once.
Or the Tatsumaki, where he makes a tornado dragon.
By
Oh, wow.
swinging his swords a certain way, he can fire compressed air projectiles toward an opponent, like with his deadliest technique, the 1080-pound cannon. And last but not least, he knows the Kyutoryu 9-sword style.
Wait, did he just grow 4 more arms and 2 more heads? How the hell did he do that?
It's just an illusion, but it still somehow has physical presence.
He's like a human slap chop with a total of 9 swords.
That's one way to put it. In addition to his skills with a blade, Zoro is able to use Haki, a mysterious power that every living being possesses, but only a select few have learned how to use.
Hockey.
Haki, much like Neapolitan ice cream, comes in 3 flavors, and Zoro only has access to chocolate and vanilla.
I don't even know what one of those flavors is observation Haki.
That's vanilla.
Of course. Which in some ways is similar to Spider-Man's Spidey sense. Zoro can sense the location of other people, even if they're invisible or far away, and can also predict most opponents' attacks.
And chocolate, everyone's favorite hockey flavor, is armament hockey. This lets him form an invisible armor around himself as protection.
Yeah.
Or harden his swords to make his strikes cut through almost anything.
With both hockey, Zoro has been a real asset to the Straw Hat Pirates. They've traveled
Is
the
that a
world
freaking
and
giraffe?
had a lot of weird adventures.
Oh, giraffe guy.
Like
Okay.
that time Zoro fought a literal living mountain man named Pika and sliced him clean in half.
Damn.
Like, so powerful, it didn't just cut through Pika, it sent his top half flying upward. Considering
Damn.
Pika's enormous size and approximate mass, this strike had to have been more powerful than the first ever deployed hydrogen bomb, the 11
Dang.
megaton Castle Romeo.
Also, Zoro's pretty damn fast. One time he moved so quickly he seemed invisible to a room full of highly trained assassins. And when the odds are against him, he'll keep pushing himself, even past the point of bleeding out.
Thus, he's powered through some incredibly intense pain, such as...
Why would you just let that touch you?
Holy shit! How the hell is he still standing after that?
That's a good question. After a battle with Kuma, a bear man because this is One Piece, Zoro took on not only his own pain from near death, but also Luffy's, despite being told that doing so would surely kill him. But it just didn't.
And he doesn't even brag about it. What a badass.
Zoro is definitely the stoic badass type, but he can't do everything. He's a sword fighter above all, and prefers to fight up close and personal.
He also
Like
has
me in
the
World of
world's
Warcraft.
shittiest sense of direction. He gets lost without someone there literally reading the map for him.
Eh.
He could never survive on his own without his friends.
You might think Zoro would be more of a lone wolf type of guy, but no. Much like how Kuina's death spurred him on to become a great swordsman, it's his friends who keep him fighting.
Eh.
I set sail for only one reason, to meet you,
And what is your goal?
to beat you.
Okay, we're back.
Erza Scarlet grew up in a small rural town called Rosemary Village. It was pretty picturesque as far as childhoods go.
Very pretty.
Hold on, Wiz. I'm getting a premonition. Despite everything seeming perfect, something terrible happened.
A murderous
Yeah,
cult
probably.
attacked, destroyed the city, and enslaved the children to build a tower to resurrect their evil overlord.
Ew.
There it is.
Young Erza was tortured, and while she may have lost an eye in the process, she also gained a friend, Jalal Fernandez. He actually gave Erza her last name, Scarlet, after her red hair.
She and her buddies swore they'd escape, so Erza ended up staging a revolt and saved the other slaves thanks to discovering her latent magical powers.
Ah, okay.
Unfortunately, not everyone made it out.
Sorry about your loss.
What? Oh, yeah. Yeah, thanks, man. It was tough, but well, what are you gonna do?
Turns out Jalal got possessed by some spirit that made him a huge dick, and she had to go without him.
Oh, wow.
If you want to leave so badly, then I'm not going to stop you. But you'll have to go alone.
After that nightmare, Erza swore to dedicate her life to helping and protecting the innocent, and so joined the Fairy Tale Magicians Guild. Luckily for them, she possessed a great skill set for a mage.
Her main thing is requip magic, which is basically like having an armory with you at all times. without
Yeah,
having to
that'd be
lug it
fun.
around.
Requip magic allows Erza to summon her vast array of weapons and armor at will, meaning she can use multiple combinations of swords, lances,
Who
and
wouldn't
outfits
want a power like
in one
that?
fight without ever really slowing down.
Damn, that'd be useful for all my weapons. How many's she packing?
She's rumored to have access to as many as 100 sets of armor and 200 weapons.
Nice.
Nice.
As far as armor goes, her go-to is the standard Heart Cruise set. But there's also the Heaven's Wheel armor, where she can send swords flying at people, the spiky defensive adamantine armor, and the Black Wing and Flame Empress armors, which have wings for flying.
Forget her giant armor, which she uses with a lance, purgatory armor, which has a lot of spikes, and seduction armor? I'm not really sure what purpose this serves.
Ding!
Probably to make enemies terribly aroused. Ever tried to fight with an erection, Wiz? Believe me, it's not easy.
Right. Well, Erza claims her most powerful armor is the Armadura Fairy Armor, which is very
Pink.
pink.
It's not pink. It's like a lightish red. Guess what? They already have a color for lightish red. You know what it's called? Pink. I hate you guys.
These are fancy and all, but sometimes she doesn't even bother suiting up. If her back's against the wall, Erza equips her Clear Heart clothing. This enhances her speed and attack over defense, and channels all her magical energy into her katanas for a decisive blow.
She can charge magic through her swords to perform all sorts of magical attacks, even mixing and matching weapons and armors to better her chances in a fight.
She's also just really good at sword fighting. Actually, she's really good with a lot of weapons, including hand-to-hand.
All of this makes Erza an excellent addition to the Fairy Tail Guild.
This is gonna be a tough
She
choice.
quickly became one of its highest-ranking mages and was the youngest member to ever pass the S-Class Mage promotion test. An incredibly difficult gauntlet only the strongest and wisest of warriors can even attempt.
Speaking of achievements, she's pretty friggin' strong. Don't believe me? Well, here she is, lancing a hole through a giant floating cube.
This cube was about 100 million cubic miles in volume. To punch through it, Erza's lance must have dealt about 16 kilotons of force.
Erza's also fast enough to deflect bullets point blank from a flintlock pistol.
So is the
Guns
other
with a
guy.
muzzle velocity of about 540 miles per hour. And that's without a speed boost from her armor.
Right, many of her
Actually,
armor
I think
sets grant her stat
Zoro's
boosts, increasing
faster,
her
so
speed,
I'm gonna go with
magic,
him.
defense, etc. She's survived plenty of destructive
Yeah, she has all this
blasts,
awesome
including
armor
one
and
that
stuff,
blew up
but
an island.
she has her
Considering that
limits, I
island's
think.
size, that's an
He
explosion
does
equivalent to
kinda
2
too, but his
kilotons of
limit is pretty much
So
death.
she's sexy, can survive island-busting attacks, and has a shit ton of weapons? She's basically perfect. Just wish she used a gun or two.
Well, she may have a vast armory, but swapping them in and out requires magic, and she can run her supply down if she's not careful.
Yeah.
So it's just like a mana bar in those fantasy games.
Oh, I played that game. I hate Diablo.
Though even when she's out of magic, she's still quite deadly in
Stresses the
hand-to-hand.
crap out of me.
Like when she fought her alternate self from another parallel universe.
Okay.
That universe has a lot less clothing. Sign me up!
But when you're among the best in the guild, you get the job done no matter the limits.
I will withstand any physical pain to protect the ones that I love.
You know, I'm getting real
All
sick
right,
of
the
these
combatants are
advertisements.
set. Let's end this debate once and for all.
It's time for a death battle!
I'm still going Zoro. What are you, Minecraft?
Oh, sorry, lady. Could you point me in the way of the shipyard? I've been looking around for hours.
You're the one I'm looking for. Come peacefully and you won't be harmed.
Suck my dick!
Then we'll have to do this the hard way.
Fine! Well, I guess we're doing this now.
Well, so much for that building.
Whoa! What?
You're coming with me!
Damn.
Neat trick.
Nice one, you're destroying the entire village. You're probably gonna be more wanted than him.
Try laughing at this!
Ooh, nice. Okay. Wow. No effect.
You are strong, pirate. But this is true strength!
Well, everyone in that town's dead.
Fool. Nothing is worse than the loss of life.
Don't start crying, woman.
What?
So much for all that true strength bullshit, huh?
No. I can do this! I will claim this bounty for my guild! For my strength! For my friends!
He just doesn't care.
Bring it on!
Wow.
You're not the only one who fights for their friends!
Alright, let's see.
Damn!
Now, where the hell is that shipyard?
Jesus! Talk about a killing blow!
In the past, Erza could react to projectiles flying over 500 miles per hour, but Zoro could move faster than the eye could see. U.S. Air Force tests have shown that a well-trained human eye can consistently spot and recognize an image in 1/220th of a second. So, in this case, Zoro would have had to move from point A to point B, which is about 57 feet, in 4.5 milliseconds.
Wow.
That's close to 9,000 miles per hour.
That's more than 5 times faster than a bullet. Erza didn't really rely on speed anyway, and there's no evidence any of her armor magic could have helped close that wide of a gap.
Speaking of her armor, Erza did have more options in defense and weaponry. Unfortunately for her, she was simply outclassed in damage dealt.
Yeah.
Erza could withstand hits of about 2 kilotons, like the blast which destroyed that island. But Zoro has dished out much stronger blows than that.
Slicing Pika in half, for example, was equivalent to 11.5 megatons. That's about 6,000 times bigger than anything Erza has survived.
Jeez.
And while Erza's artificial eye may have seen through Zoro's 9-sword style illusion, it couldn't prevent him from actually attacking her.
She also had that habit of stripping down to clear hard clothing and mind. Yeah, it gave her more sword power, but at the cost of less defense. This sounded like a good idea on paper, but close-range combat was Zoro's bread and butter.
Yeah.
Erza was mostly self-taught, and while proficient with a blade, Zoro has trained with swords all his life. Even with the greatest swordsman in the world, an up-close duel was exactly what he was looking for.
And she won't be getting a fairy tale ending.
Yeah.
The winner is Roronoa Zoro.
Next time on Death Battle.
Deadpool.
Hey guys, I'm Chad, I play Boomstick. I'm Ben, I play Wiz, and next...
And that was my reaction to Zoro versus Erza. Hope you guys enjoyed it. And yeah, have a nice day.